Welcome, Thunderbird Nation, to the Thunderbird Coaches Show. We're here with DeLane Fitzgerald, our special guest, George Ramirez. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
This is episode 2. It's a preview of our Arizona State opponent coming up this week on Thursday. Coach, great to have you here. We got Thunder U going on campus. I'm walking in from the parking lot, and I'm getting a drum line walk up. Kids all over campus, freshmen moving into town, great energy on campus. It's a good day to be a T-Bird.
You rolled through the parking lot thinking that they were playing. The drum line was for you, right?
No, it totally felt like that. I was the only one there, and all of a sudden the drums come up, and I'm poking my chest, strutting down. It was awesome. I'm not gonna lie. And then there's probably about 400 or 500 students walk in, and the university administration and the professors walk in their regalia. It was good stuff, man. It got me pumped up today.
Yeah. George and I got up early this morning. We knew what time you were arriving. We had the drum line out there for you.
Oh, shoot. Well, as always, look, SUU is poised for their first game of the season. We got good energy in the air. Let's have a little preview, Coach, of let's start with how this week's practice went, how the guys are preparing for ASU, and then let's preview that ASU squad.
Yeah, one of the, I don't know if it's a perk or a minus. I don't know if it's plus or minus. One of the deals about getting old is how fast things go. Everything goes faster, and young folks don't understand it. Summers aren't 3 months when you're older. Summers all of a sudden are about 3 weeks, or at least they feel like 3 weeks.
Feel like it.
Yeah, and then preseason camp. Yeah, we've went through 4 weeks, been together 4 weeks now, and it feels like about 4 days at this point in time. You want to talk about Arizona State, right?
Well, yeah, before we get into Arizona, how did this week's practice go? How did yesterday go in preparation? And let's talk about ASU.
We were somewhere between average and solid over the past week. Above average would be the grade that we probably got last week. Yesterday was really, really good, and the young men have started to dial it in. They've started to block out all the muddy water and all the excess noise and just kind of dial it in on what we're doing on Thursday. Yesterday evening's practice for us is a Tuesday. Tuesday in a regular week, and then today for us is a Wednesday. We're getting close to Saturday's game in our head. We know we're playing on Thursday night, so just change the days around.
Yeah, so the guys are starting to get dialed in. The distractions are fading away a little bit. George, from a player's perspective, what's it like on game week headed into you got Sun Devil Stadium? I guess they call it Mountain America Stadium now, but what's it like as you're getting prepared for that first game?
Well, what it's like is it's really nice to have that nice warm feeling that we're going to go into a place with 48,000 people and go show out what we do, what we're prepared for all week, what the coaches are going to put out for us, and know that we got to execute a game plan. And we take it just like how we take every other home game that we have or any other away game. It doesn't change the stadium or the atmosphere. It's just if we can play and dial and execute what we have the coaches having us do, then that's what we're going to do. So really getting that energy each and every week is what we need to do.
I love it. Little added focus because there's a game at the end of the week.
George's giving you a little bit of a fib. George goes, it's just like any other game. Hey, George is getting to go home. This is homecoming week for him.
That's right.
It is.
That's right. We'll get into that in a minute. We'll go over George Ramirez and where you're from and all that here in a minute. But it's got to be exciting to be headed back home and in front of the family and friends. That's really cool. So, Coach, let's talk about Arizona State University. We got first-year head coach Kenny Dillingham. Pretty sure you're old enough to be his father. Is that he's 33 years?
Hey, you and I both.
Hey, I'm not. You're right. Yeah. If we would have got, I don't want to go there, but yeah,
Coach,
he's a young man out here making his way in the profession.
Coach makes me smile. He's 33 years old and full of life and full of himself. And I got my first head coaching job at Southern Virginia at the age of 32, so I kind of know what's going through his mind and what he's thinking and what he's doing. Other than Thursday night, we don't have him on the schedule for years to come, and that might be a good thing, might be a bad thing. I expect both of our programs are going to get better over the last couple of years. But when I listen to him give an interview, it kind of takes me back a little bit. It takes me back 15 years to my first job. And doing some things right and doing some things wrong and saying some things right and saying some things wrong. I guess I've kept a few of those traits over the years.
Sorry, people. I just laughed in the microphone.
But I'm going to be their biggest fan after Thursday night. Not rooting for him this week, and then after this week, I'll be a huge Kenny Dillingham fan.
Yeah, he's taking over a program that's had struggles the last couple of years. They've kind of been riddled with some scandal. And breaking news as of yesterday morning, the athletic director has gone ahead and imposed a self-imposed bowl ban for this year, which has got to gut the team. I mean, you're headed into your first game. It's like you said, Tuesday practice on a regular week, and here comes the news that, sorry guys, you got nothing to play for. I mean, what's that all about?
Yeah, not the best timing by their administration on that. And right off the top of my head, I think they've got 20 seniors that are going to play on Thursday night. And my heart goes out to those seniors, because you only get one senior season, and to have that happen during your senior season. There's other programs and other football players and coaches that would look at that as a plus and be happy that happened to those young men. That's not us.
No.
It's not who we are. And we'd like to play people at their best. We want to play people completely healthy and at their best, mentally and physically.
Yeah.
But a real downer for them to come out on like I said, Tuesday morning work week, to come out on a Tuesday morning work week and say, hey, you 20 seniors, you're going to waste this fall and you're not going to a bowl. The one I think about all the time is we had some crossover games with Sacramento State last year, so got to see Cameron Scatterborough, who has now transferred from Sacramento State to Arizona State. Well, if he stays at Sacramento State, they're going to finish in the top 3 in the conference. They're going to make the playoffs. As a senior, he gets a chance to play in the postseason. He gets a chance to play at a national title. Now he's transferred to a school that isn't allowed to play in their conference title game, so they can't make the conference title game, can't play in a bowl game. Sad situation. Sad situation for these young men, their young men.
Yeah, I agree. It's a tough one to swallow, especially as coaching staff. You went out, you recruited. You not only recruited guys to come in, but because of the coaching change, you recruited guys to stay, right? Yeah. And when you take away that carrot, so to speak, you take away that incentive to come out and just ball and go to a bowl game. It's got to be gut wrenching. Do you think this is just speculative? But do you think come Thursday they're going to have a little extra chip on their shoulder? Or are they going to come out a little flat because they just got told, look, everything you're playing for doesn't mean anything at the end?
George and I can't answer that question, and not going to answer that question. We haven't discussed it as a team. We haven't discussed it in position groups. Not going to. Our job here at Southern Utah University is to do the best we can, 6 days of preparation, and then line up on Thursday night and tee it up. I've said this over and over again. We're going to tee it up at 8 p.m. Arizona time on 7 p.m. Arizona time on Thursday night. We're going to do the best job we can do for 3 hours.
Yeah. Lace them up.
Yeah.
Strap up the chin strap and go hit some folks.
It's important to me and important for this young man and everybody else in our program, coaching staff and players, that we are our best selves on Thursday night and avoid all the other distractions.
Well, I like the perspective. It's a game. They want to win. You want to win. And it's a battle of wills. It's a battle of preparation.
John,
they have execution.
Yeah. Arizona State's football program has really good players.
Yeah, sure.
That they have good returning players that they brought in. 962 transfers that are all good players, but they're playing with a bunch of transfers that played at other schools. We have to play really, really well to compete with them on Thursday night.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Sun Devils. Let's talk about what they're doing. Before we get into the Sun Devils, though, let's just give time a pause to thank our gracious sponsor. We've got a great sponsor in the Warehouse Bar Plus Kitchen. Look, they're a great little watering hole here in Cedar City. Great place to unwind. They got great food. Sliders are on point every single time we go. Just an amazing place to just kind of unwind. If you're into some craft cocktails or some beer, they've got it there. I enjoy a game on their big screens once in a while. They got a really great relaxing atmosphere, and then they got a great DJ. They got some great weekend opportunities to go and have a good time in Cedar City. It's just a great local spot. 21 plus, and just remember to drink responsibly, have fun, and enjoy your time at Warehouse Bar Plus Kitchen. Coach, let's now transition there into ASU. Let's talk about their style of play. What we're going to face on Thursday night.
Yeah. Bo Baldwin is the new offensive coordinator, and Coach Dillingham hired him, and Bo won a national title in 2010 at Eastern Washington, which all the SUU faithful and alumni remember that 2010 Eastern Washington team.
That's right.
But good football coach, good players. He is capable of being multiple. He's capable of brand new thought, and that makes it scary when you're talking about an offensive coordinator. But what do we expect on Thursday night? I expect them to be wide open, 4 and 5 wide. We're going to get a lot of 4 and 5 wide, and when they are using a tight end, for the most part, they'll be in a wing set, or the tight end's going to be split out and running routes. Their tight end's one of their best receivers, and then they have a couple of other receivers that complement him that do a nice job. John, offensive line, they returned 3 players from last year, and then they brought in 2 transfers that are great players. Maybe the best offensive lineman in the Mountain West. They signed out of UNLV. Going to start at center for them on Thursday night, and he'll do a nice job. I don't know if he's a 4 or a 5-star quarterback, but they're going to start Jaden Rashada. They're going to start Jaden Rashada at quarterback, 18-year-old freshman.
Is that right?
Going back in the way too long ago memory banks, the last freshman that started against any team I was a part of was Michael Vick, and it was not fun.
It was not fun. He tuned you up a little bit.
I'm having PTSD.
Yeah.
Thinking about Michael Vick going down the middle against us at James Madison in 1999, and he led Virginia Tech to the national title game that year. And then Jaden is 4 or 5-star, and he's going to start for us Thursday night. And hey, let's hope he's not as successful as Mike was that night.
Yeah, no kidding. So that's the offense. Sounds like they got an unknown but a very talented quarterback. Receiving core, big O-line. Tell us about their running game. Do they run the football through the tackles, or what do we
They return most of their wide receivers, and they've got 3 good wide receivers that we'll have to be on our A game to keep up with, along with the big tight end who's I'm going to say his name. It's Jalen Conyers, but does a nice job at the tight end position. And switch over in the run game, and they're going to be good up front. They're going to be a little bigger than us. And then you got Cameron Scatterborough, who should be the bell cow at the running back position. But we expect a lot of inside, outside zone, counter, as diverse and outside the box thinking as people are these days in the pass game.
Yeah.
And the run game's pretty simple. Everybody's running the same 5 or 6 deals now.
Well,
inside, outside zone, power, pin and pull, counter. There you go. Hey,
that Scatterbo kid is. I've been watching him since he was at Sacramento State. If in fact you and I were watching a game, we watched Sacramento, and he was coming out of the backfield, catching passes, running over corners. He plays crazy physical, and just has that. I guess you would call it that dog in him, right? Like that dude wants to fight for every inch he's got. And just a fun player to watch play football.
The it factor is alive and well in him.
Yeah, absolutely.
You and I watched the game last year where he scored like 5 different ways against Dixie State.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Yeah. Let's talk about their defense. So we got the offense kind of covered there. What does their defense look like? What do the Thunderbirds have to do to move the ball on that defense?
They're going to be a 4-3 too high as far as the front and the coverage, but they're going to show us 4-3 too high. My expectations that they try to lock us down, play man-to-man, but they're going to try to play a lot of man and bring pressure, try to get Justin Miller off of the spot, get him moving his feet is what they're going to do defensively. John, when you're playing the first game of the season in college football, it's a little bit of the wild, wild west, especially like with the transfer portal. And I made an exaggeration, but I think they signed 28 transfers. Well, we're going to see 20 of those 28 on Thursday night, so you don't exactly know where they're going to play them and when they're going to play them. Returning players, though, that they return B.J. Green, who is not listed in their 2 deep as a starter for this Thursday night. He's led the team in sacks the last 2 years. Not sure how you keep him off the field.
Yeah, I wonder if he's dinged up or something.
Good player, good player, and he's going to play Thursday night, going to play well. And then Ed Woods returns for them at the corner position, and Ed Woods was a good player for them last year, and he's fought off a couple of transfers to keep that starting spot this year. So we expect those 2 young men to be standouts for them, and then just not 100% sure how the transfers are going to fit in with what they're doing. And John, being fair, we're going to start 3 or 4 transfers, and they're not sure what we're going to do with them either.
That's true. Yeah, there's, like you said, that first game, there's really not a whole lot of tape. There's nothing that you can do other than just be sound, execute, and do your very best and see what happens.
Their offensive coordinator was a head coach he was the head coach at Eastern Washington.
That's right.
He went to Washington State. I don't think it worked out very well for him at Washington State. He takes the head coaching job at Cal Poly. So now we've got a database.
Yeah, you're right.
We have film of all the places. Here's what we do know. We know what his 10 to 16 bread and butter plays are that he's going to come back to. Their defensive coordinator was at Washington State the last couple of years. We have Washington State's film. We know what they've done, what he likes and what he doesn't like. And then their special teams coordinator has been around a long time, but he was Idaho State's head coach last year, and we know what he's going to do. He's done the same stuff on special teams for the last 10 or 12 years, so we have an idea of kind of what we're going to get there. John, coaches we're creatures of habit.
Yeah, you can see their patterns and what they like. I know Bo Baldwin's a little bit of a maverick. I mean, he's when he was in the Big Sky, he was the big play. I guess what you call trick plays. He does a lot of crazy stuff, lots of different halfback passes, and you name it, he's gonna try it.
He was one of the first guys that wasn't afraid to stand there and throw it 85 times a game.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I might want to talk with Dillingham on Thursday night about his bedtime. Maybe, hey, we don't need 25 incompletions on Thursday night. Get out of there after midnight.
Get after midnight. Run the football, would you? Okay, that's funny. You mentioned some of the standout players. Anything else on Arizona State? What do you? I mean, you obviously you know what you're getting into, but anything else on Arizona State?
No, we think they're solid in the we talked about offense, defense. We think their special team is going to be solid. Josh Carlson is their punter, and Josh had committed to play for us, so we thought Josh was going to be our punter, and then at the 11th hour, Arizona State offered him a scholarship, and that's his hometown, and he went to Arizona State at the end. But we know they're going to be solid on special teams.
Yeah.
John could not be more excited. Not be more excited for it to be game week. Let's go.
Yeah, let's
go.
Let's strap it up and let's go. Look, we have a very special guest. George Ramirez is with us. George, let's talk a little bit about you. Tell us where you're from.
So I'm from Mesa, Arizona. I went to Red Mountain High School. I didn't grow up in Mesa. I grew up in a small town called Santan Valley, about 20, 30 minutes from Florence, Arizona, so kind of in the middle of nowhere when it first started up.
The middle of nowhere, okay.
Yeah. So a lot of farms, a lot of places like that, and then moved to Mesa to help further my football career and do things like that, be closer to family. And then so I know a lot of people down in Arizona, got a lot of people come to the game, a lot of friends, family, relatives from out of state coming in. So it's going to be an exciting one over there.
Yeah, that's got to be special, man, to see your friends and family and then watch your what I would call nothing short of a meteoric rise at SUU. Give us an idea. How did you get to SUU in the first place? Recruiting and things like that. And then give us just kind of an overview of the years that you've had. You came in 2021.
Correct.
So tell us how you're recruited, and then tell us about 2021, 22, and now into 23, because you got a special story, and I want to highlight it.
Gotcha. So it was a really different time when I was recruited because COVID, everything happened. So it was a lot of different people. The NCAA didn't know what was happening. People didn't know what was happening
Free
at
for
the
all.
time. Exactly. So I was being recruited by Coach Fernandez, the O-line coach here.
Arizona State found out this week that it wasn't a free-for-all.
They sure did.
Yeah.
Boy, did they.
Everything that's coming down on them is due to what they did during COVID.
Yeah, they thought they were going to get one passed, but they didn't. So Coach Fernandez was the guy that had you on his radar?
Yeah, he was the one that had me on his radar. He actually went to Red Mountain High School, same.
His alma mater?
Yes,
okay.
He was. So I talked to him, had a lot of great conversations with him, fell in love with the campus. I had a couple other friends that came up here that told me good things about the university and everything like that.
Sure.
So it really persuaded me to come over here and to give my all for this university.
That's awesome, man. And you came in as a walk-on, is that right?
That's correct.
And have you been safety? Have you been at that position the whole time?
Yeah, I've been safety the whole time that I've been here. Just been keeping my head down, trying to work and just keep doing what I do. Just take one day at a time and make sure I give everything that one day.
Yeah. So ladies and gentlemen, Thunderbird Nation, George Ramirez is kind of what encapsulates this program. This guy came in as a walk-on. He played a little bit, I think 4 tackles that first year.
That's correct.
Moved on to 2022 where he had a little bigger role. And then here in 2023, tell us what happened a couple weeks ago.
A couple weeks ago, Coach Fitz gave me the satisfaction of getting on scholarship. So it really, for not even just for myself, it's really nice being there for myself, but really for my teammates and being there and knowing that I gave everything for them and their like joy and excitement to see. It was really something that really touched my heart.
That's awesome, man. Like I was there. I was privileged to witness that. How did you feel about your team's reaction when Coach said, as of 8 a.m., y'all are on scholarship?
So as how I felt about my team's reaction is just like I was one of those guys that always were just working, and then that they all just came up and started celebrating, and it just felt so surreal, like something from a movie. I had multiple guys be like, yeah, I've seen this like in a movie or like on Twitter or whatever. And it's just them coming up and supporting, and then some people that I'm like not even knowing, but my situation and everything like that. It was just really, really good feeling to know that even though that I may have not had that opportunity in the past to be that bigger role for the program, that now maybe I'm transitioning into it more, that my teammates saw that I came into work every single day, that I was going to continue to come into work every single day.
Yeah, and to me, we preach to be excellent every day. We preach to be 1% every day. We preach the focus, the fight, the finish. And to me, it's embodied in what you've been able to do, to come in as a walk-on, to fight every single day for a position, to get rewarded and to get noticed by the coaching staff and your fellow players, and then to have that payoff in the scholarship. Man, it's like, it gives me goosebumps. It's what I enjoy about college football. It's what I enjoy about this program in particular, the blue collar. Come to work, do your thing, and then you'll be noticed and taken care of. So I just love that. I just love that sentiment and that the example that you are to the other players on your team. Let's move now. We got a little segment that's sponsored by Visit Cedar City, Brian Head. So I'm going to ask you a few questions about your time here in Cedar City. Excuse me. And so the player spotlight is brought to you by Visit Cedar City and Brian Head. So how many years have you been in Cedar City?
I've been here for 2 going on to 3 years.
2, this is your 3rd year. What's your favorite thing to do in Cedar City? What do you, on your downtime or whatever, what are you looking to do here in Cedar City?
My favorite thing to do is probably just hang out with some of my guys on the football team. We like to go and like play Madden over here at the student center right here. Just come out, just really get to know each other. Yeah. And then, but outside, like the football players and the guys and everything like that, I really like just to go outside and like go on hikes up to sea. Been there a couple times.
Sea trail, okay.
Yeah, and then just be able just to see the outdoors, because it's a lot different from Mesa, Arizona to Cedar City, Utah.
That's right.
So being able to soak in all the experience is really good for me, and I just like being the outdoors type and just being out.
So you like the environment, you like the beautiful nature that we have here in the surrounding areas, getting out there. When your family comes in or you have people come in to visit, do you have a spot or anything that you're like, you got to go here, you got to check this out?
There's actually a couple spots that I have them come. So my family is a big American type like food out to eat restaurant type.
Yeah.
So Pastry Pub.
Pub's a spot?
It's the very good spot for when my family comes out.
Cool.
And also Pizza Cart. Pizza Cart's a really big place. I love Pizza Cart, so that's really one of the two of the top spots that we go to.
Yeah, look,
George left out Applebee's. George likes to take people to Applebee's and then lock them out of their cars and pretend like he's pulling off without them.
That sounds like there's a story here, but we'll catch that another time. Yeah, awesome. So there's great things to do here in Cedar City. You can get out, check out a hike, go up to the sea. In fact, Justin Miller said the same thing, that sea trail. He loves to get up there and see the whole town and all that. So thanks to Cedar City, Visit Cedar City and Brian Head for their sponsorship of the show. There's so many things to do in Cedar City. Come check us out. So let's get back on the football train here. So you went and you've grinded it out freshman year, sophomore year, coming into your junior year now. Tell us about the safety room. Tell us about the DBs. What do you like? What are you guys striving for as a group?
So what we're striving for as a group is just to make sure that, like we said, get 1% better every day, and make sure that everybody that has came in, transfers included, freshmen included, that we make each other better. Whether it's on the scout team, whether it's on the regular team that we do, just make sure that we always get better each and every day. Because without us, it's really hard for all of our offensive parts to get better, all of our other defensive parts to get better, because if we can't synchronize and communicate like that, it's really hard for a team to get going, or hard for a defense to get going as the DB group.
Absolutely. So tell us where you feel like you guys have improved.
We've improved in the communication part.
Okay.
The getting to know each other. I know I've been here for 2 years. I haven't been as close to my DB group in I don't know how long. It's been 2 years. I kind of been here, and there was a lot of upperclassmen that kind of just did their own thing. And then last year got a little bit better with the communication and hanging out. And then now it's like, hey, what are we doing this weekend? How are we going to, like, have fun together, get to know each other? What are we going to do to be that synchronized group?
To gel up.
Yes, exactly.
All right, I like that. Every time we see a position group that hangs out, that likes, maybe sometimes likes each other, sometimes puts up with each other for the better of the team, right? Every time we see that, those position groups tend to be improving, right?
Mm-hmm.
Give me a little shout out for the coaching staff. Tell me what they've taught you, and what things that you've taken from their lessons into your playing style.
So some things that I've learned and lessons that I've taken is, even though I get better this day, I got to make sure I get better the next day. The 1% each and every day is, if I was getting better this one day in the weight room or on the practice field or on the film room, is that the next day I'm going to give even more.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give even more, and then keep stacking days, because it's not all that you can do on one day. It's not all that you can do on this day. It's what you can do consistently. Like Coach Fish says, being consistent is what is going to strive people to get up to the next level. If you have spurts here and there, you're not going to be very good.
Yeah.
And then the same thing as if you're going to be this guy that wants to come and embody a program and be a guy that comes to work every single day, you have to do that every single day. You can't take a day off.
No days off.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Man, George, thank you for being here. Thanks for the effort, the fire that you brought to the team and to our community here in Cedar City. We appreciate you.
Appreciate
we appreciate you coming on the show. Coach, any last words going? We're getting on the plane on Wednesday and headed down to Tempe, Arizona. I'm going to strap it up and give them all they want.
Short plane ride.
Short plane ride.
Yeah. They're doing shorts and T-shirts.
Shorts, some water, some ice water.
Yeah, those y'all out there are supposed to kick off at about 100, 102. Sun, yeah. Throw some eggs and bacon out on the field and cook it while we're playing.
It's going to be a hot one.
It's going to be hot. Hotter than fish grease.
Oh, that sounds like a Southern thing. I've not heard that often, these parts. Great. So, any final words on the game, preparation going in? We good?
No, we're excited. Our coaching staff likes our football team, and this game is 9% of our schedule, no more, no less.
Yeah.
We're going to go roll the dice and do the best job we can possibly do. Hey, shout out to the people coming across country to see the game. My high school coach Scott McGarry and his family coming across to see the game on Thursday night. Tim Feldman. Flying out of Baltimore, and one of my buddies from Frostburg, and a great friend of our family, and just a great guy. But him coming across, for his 50th birthday. So he'll be celebrating his 50th birthday on Thursday night with us at the ball game, and excited. And then my brother and two of his friends flying in from Los Angeles to see the ball game.
That's
but
awesome.
Hey, travel safely. Love y'all. See you soon.
Yeah, T-Bird Nation, if you're headed down, travel safely. We'll see you down in Tempe for the game. Before we wrap, Coach, I just had one other message.
That's a great point. Hey, all the SUU faithful, let's be there. We're in the correct shade of red.
Yeah, okay.
Make sure we got the right red on, and fill the stands.
Fill the stands, get down, enjoy Tempe, and cheer on your Thunderbirds. Before we wrap it all the way up, just a quick shout out to the Thunderbird Club. The Thunderbird Club supports all of Southern Utah athletics. The Touchdown Club in particular is going to help out football. So, folks, if you're out there listening and you want to do your part to support the Thunderbirds, get a hold of. We'll put some information in the YouTube video notes here to get a hold of someone there in advancement or someone in the athletic director staff to help you guys get your donations in for the Touchdown Club. It supports players like George Ramirez, scholarships, operations. It's a big part of what we do. If you need some more information, we'll have the links and the
facilities, Brother Smith. Facilities. We need facilities.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and we'll touch on that in future shows. We'll have a spotlight on facilities and what we can do to help out there. But folks, for our special guest George Ramirez, our great coach DeLane Fitzgerald, I'm Jon Smith signing off. Go T-Birds.
Go Thunderbirds.
Go Thunderbirds.